Welcome to Professor Rasheed Mirani Academy. For lecturer, SST, FIA assistant and assistant director profession, we provide you the complete course for these jobs just for ₹2,500 advance and 700 monthly subscription. For more details, please WhatsApp at 0333 717 8872.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम दोस्तों, आज वाली वीडियो में डिस्कस करेंगे लेक्चरर इंग्लिश के इंटरव्यू की सीरीज़ चला रहे हैं। आज हमारे साथ जो पर्सनैलिटी है वो शाह साहब हैं और इन्होंने भी लेक्चरर इंग्लिश की टेस्ट क्वालिफाई की एमसीक्यूज़ और उसके बाद इन्होंने लेक्चरर इंग्लिश अभी सिलेक्टेड हुए अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह। तो आज सर से हम इंटरव्यू लेंगे, मतलब जो इंटरव्यू सर ने दिया है वो आपके साथ शेयर करेंगे और आप इस वीडियो को दोस्तों के साथ ज़रूर शेयर करें और इससे रिलेटेड कोई कमेंट हो तो वो आप ज़रूर करें, ठीक है ना। जो बच्चे जिस भी सब्जेक्ट में पास हुए हैं वो भी इस वीडियो को ज़रूर देखें, आपको इंशाल्लाह फ़ायदा होगा इंग्लिश के अलावा भी। तो चलिए सर के तरफ हम चलते हैं। अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर।
वालेकुम सलाम सर।
सर आप काइंडली थोड़ा सा शॉर्ट इंट्रोडक्शन दें और उसके बाद इंटरव्यू के बारे में।
Sir, I have been teaching for 9 years. I have taught in a School of Excellence, one of the prestigious school of Sakha, in Cadet College, Karampur, for 1.5 year, in government education sector for 1 year.
वेरी गुड।
Earlier I appointed PST, then I was selected for JST.
एक्सीलेंट, ज़बरदस्त। तो ये सर का शॉर्ट इंट्रोडक्शन था। अब एकेडमिक क्वालिफिकेशन के बारे में सर से पूछेंगे, फिर डायरेक्टली हम इंटरव्यू की तरफ जाएंगे। तो सर आप एकेडमिक क्वालिफिकेशन के
Sir, I have done masters in English literature, sir, from Shalatif University.
शालाती यूनिवर्सिटी।
Yes,
अब
yes, sir.
हमें इस कैंडिडेट्स जितने भी पास हुए हैं उनको आप ये बताएं कि आप
Yes, sir.
इंटरव्यू में कौन से क्वेश्चन किए गए।
Sir, this time the interview was quite different from traditional ones. It means what contributions have you rendered to your service during your teaching career? They asked me for how long have you been teaching. I replied that I have been teaching for 8 years, almost 8 years. They said, what contributions have you contributed or provided for the student community? So I had already made my mind and I contributed some of the handouts personally prepared were the sentence structure development. I mean, from to be verbs to stative linking words, then from action words. Such sentence I had already prepared for a student community. So I mentioned it. They became quite satisfied with this thing. That it was one of the part of contribution.
Excellent. So it was amazing on the part of Sir Dinal Shah. He has rendered a lot of services when it comes to teaching. Now we are moving towards the literature and linguistic questions if they were asked. So, sir, kindly put
Sir,
like.
I would add something. Earlier mentioned that the interview was quite different from traditional ones. So at this time they had set different criteria, different, I would say, different confidence criteria. In a sense that to the literature is in traditionally in head office of SPSC, Assistant Public Service Commission in Hyderabad, their teachers used to argue, used to go deeply in literary questions. This time this wasn't the scene. Why this wasn't seen? Professor from English side, he belongs to Sakha, Sir Gulam Sen Manganar Sahab. He just put 7 questions. They were of different nature. Some of them were related to right preposition, right use of words. I mean, pair of words. The pair of words that fall into my category was disease. Usually we call it disease, but the word is ease and disease. And another word, deceased. Deceased is used for the dead one or perished person. So this pair of word came into my category. Also, he gave me sentence correction and error detection. They had already put this thing on the table. And another new thing this time that was introduced was the reading passages from Dawn newspaper. They had highlighted the reading passage from Dawn newspaper. They gave me that read it and explain it or summarize or precise it in your own words. As per the situation. So I read it out and explained it in my own words in a passive form. And on the other hand, 2 other panelists who I later came to know that they belonged to DMG groups. They had already qualified CSS examination. We went from GK side they gave much touch to Pakistan's GK, geography, its constitutional development. On the other hand, they had set new criteria. The new criteria was, in a sense, that they didn't make their mind to ask a candidate from his or her subject, his or her own subject. So this criteria was they had set because one can know his subject, his or her subject very well. He might have been teaching for some years, maybe for some 5 years, 10 years. That's why they didn't give much touch to the subject. Just jump to general topics such as War of Independence 1857, Pak-China relations, future of Pak-China relations, and Russia-Ukraine conflict, and some other general topics. They ask as for demonstration. In my lot, there came a topic, the development of Pakistan's constitution. It was observed that almost all of the candidates were asked to deliver on given topic, to deliver demonstration on given topic for 1 or 2 minutes, not more than. Just they wanted to see how he writes, how he takes a start or introductory things. It was all about in short, sir.
Okay. So it was an interview being conducted by Silpa Research Commission. I has told you everything deeply, and it was purely in English. This is why Sir Rinal Shah is telling you everything in English. Otherwise, normally, in different other exams, most of the students do ask whether they will be asking in Urdu or Sindhi or any other language. But you must keep in mind before you enter the committee room, they are supposed to ask you everything in English. This is how Sir Rinal Shah has completely elaborated and explained everything. Now we would like to wind it up, and before winding up, we would like to know, Honorable Teacher Sir Rinal Shah, could you please tell us something about general knowledge other than the English literature? Because they did not ask even a single thing from literature or linguistics as told by you.
Yes, sir. Sir, from literature side, there were 3 questions from literature. They were from figures of speech, because figures of speech is an unavoidable structure of literature. And another was journal from 16th century to 18th century, question of journal writers' view. The renowned writers and their just overview. They took just overview.
So demonstration was completely different. They are not supposed to ask you from English linguistic or literature. They might be asking you from general topics. So bear in mind before you appear in interview, you should be having knowledge about current affairs, general knowledge, Pakistan affairs, Pakistan constitution. All these things play an important role when it comes to your interview. So this is very clear. और सर ने सारी चीज़ें आपको इंग्लिश में बताई हैं, और क्योंकि ही फील्स हैप्पी आर ग्लेड टू टॉक इन इंग्लिश आर एक्सप्लेन एवरीथिंग इंग्लिश, तो सर का हम शुक्रिया अदा करेंगे। और इस वीडियो को दोस्तों के साथ ज़रूर शेयर करें। और कोई मैसेज आप देना चाहें एंड में?
सर
का आपका इंटरव्यू था और मैसेज भी थे हमें।
यस सर, मैसेज बस यही है कि जो है आप यू हैव टू कीप प्रैक्टिकल अप्रोच इन योर सब्जेक्ट and things, your contributions that are practically related to classroom. So you should prepare yourself for practical approach, not the questions in practically from B.Ed side or some other side. Just prepare as per your subject criteria some contributions that fall into the category of practical approach. This was all about. They may also take you into generalization, general discussion. They just want to know your psyche. This is the very reason. This time, because was not included a psychologist in a panel. That's why they were themselves taking view of generalization of a candidate. Sir.
Total, there were 3 members.
Yes, sir. There were 3 members. Yes, sir.
And how long did your interview last?
Sir, it lasted 17 to 18 minutes.
17 to 18 minutes interview. So for subject specialist English, and this is challenging, a bit challenging for all of you. Just make your demo on any topic, but even then they might give you a demo that is not purely related to your subject. So keep in mind before you appear in the interview. So would like to say thanks to Sir Rinal Shah, he has given his time. और दूसरी बात देखें कि सिचुएशन आप देखें, अभी पसीना सर को भी आ रहा है और उसके बावजूद भी हमारी कमिटमेंट देखेंगे आपके साथ इंटरव्यू शेयर कर रहे हैं। ना कोई यहाँ पे ऐसी है, क्योंकि हम मैं ना अपनी एकेडमी में हूँ ना स्टूडियो में हूँ, फिर भी सर ने अपना टाइम दिया और इससे पहले भी हम आपके साथ एक इंटरव्यू शेयर कर चुके हैं। और सर का आप लोग ज़रूर थैंक्स करें और इंशाल्लाह फर्दर भी हम आपके साथ इंटरव्यू शेयर करेंगे। थैंक यू सो मच।
थैंक यू सो मच।
ये हमारे एंड्रॉयड एप्लीकेशन है, इसको डाउनलोड करें, इसमें सारे कोर्सेज मिलेंगे। और दूसरी बात कि हम डिस्क्रिप्शन में जितने भी लिंक्स हैं ना, आपका जो भी सब्जेक्ट है डिस्क्रिप्शन में जाके चेक करें, उसके बाद इस नंबर पर रब्ता करके कोर्स ले सकते हैं।